Hi friends, welcome back to Irini's Corner. Today we're gonna do together the right square pattern. The written pattern is available on my blog. I'll have a link in the description box, and let's get started. So for this pattern, we're gonna need two different colors. I'm using 100% mercerized cotton by Patons Grace, and I'm using the colors ginger and natural. The hook size is 3.5 millimeter hook, and I'm gonna be starting with the natural color. To begin the first round, I'm gonna start with a magic ring, wrapping the yarn on my fingers while doing a letter X, and then with the hook I'll go under the outer loop and above the inner loop, pull the inner loop out while twisting, and chain one. Now my magic ring is ready for round one. So I'm gonna chain one extra stitch, and these two stitches are not considered as a stitch. And then I'll do 12 double crochet stitches into the magic ring. So I'll yarn over, insert the hook into the magic ring, yarn over and pull a loop, yarn over and go through two, and yarn over and go through two. And this is the first double crochet stitch. So I'll repeat that 11 more times. Again, the first two chains are not counted as a stitch. So I'll do 12 double crochet stitches, and then we're gonna start round two. At the end of round one, I'll slip stitch on top of the first double crochet stitch while changing colors. So I'm not gonna slip stitch with my white or natural color. I'm gonna do that with the ginger color or color number 2 in general. Okay, now if we look at where we are right now, we are on top of a double crochet stitch. And to work the second round, we need to be in between the posts. So we're gonna work the second round between the posts of the double crochet stitches. So I'm gonna slip stitch into that space between the next post and the following post. So here's my slip stitch. And now I'm ready to start round number 2. To start round number 2, as mentioned earlier, we're going to be working between the posts. So our stitches are going between the posts and not into the V of the previous round. So I'm going to chain 2. These 2 chains are not counted as a stitch. And then I'll go back into that same space and I'll do 2 double crochet. So I'm doing an increase between every 2 posts. So I'll move to the next space and do 2 double crochet stitches. Moving to the next space, 2 double crochet. And we're going to repeat that throughout the round until we reach the end, and we should have 24 double crochet stitches at the end of round 2. Now at the end of the round, I'm gonna slip stitch on top of the first double crochet of the round while switching colors. So I'm going back to color number 1. Now for round number 3, we're gonna do the same thing we did at the beginning of round number 2. We are now on top of a double crochet stitch, and we need to move to the space between the 2 posts. So I'm gonna be slip stitching to move or to get to the position between the 2 posts of the increase we did in the previous round. So now I'm gonna be working my stitches of round number 3 into the space between the 2 posts of the increase. So chain 1 and work a half double crochet into that space and another half double crochet into the same space. So I'm doing an increase. Now for the next stitch, I will be working around the posts of round number 1. So locate the first double crochet that is sitting between the increases of round number 2, and I will be working around the post of that stitch. So we're gonna yarn over twice, go around the post of round 1, pull a loop, yarn over, go through 2, yarn over, go through 2, and yarn over and go through 2. And we're gonna skip one stitch on round 2. And then into the space between the next 2 posts, we're gonna do 2 half double crochet stitches. Next, we're gonna go down on round 1 and do a treble, a front post treble around the next post. Skip one stitch on round 2 and repeat the 2 half doubles between the next 2 posts. Down again on round 1 and do a treble around the following post. And we're going to repeat this throughout the round. By the end of the round, you will find that we have worked front post trebles around all the posts of round 1. At the end, we're going to slip stitch into the first half double of the round using color number 2. To start round 4, we're gonna chain 1, and into that first stitch we're gonna do a single crochet and a single crochet into the next stitch, and now we should be at a front post treble stitch from the previous round. So around that treble and on round 2 you will find 2 double crochet stitches on each side of the treble. So we're going to be working a front post double crochet 2 together around the post of round number 2, the 2 double crochet posts on each side of that stitch. So I'm gonna yarn over, insert my hook around the post of round 2, yarn over and pull a loop, yarn over and go through 2, and then yarn over, go around the other post, yarn over and pull a loop, yarn over and go through 2, and now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and go through all 3. And we skip one stitch on round 3 and then a single crochet into the next 2 stitches. We're going to repeat the front post double crochet 2 together around the post of round 2. And then skip one stitch on round 3 and repeat the 2 single crochet stitches. Another front post double crochet 2 together. And we're gonna finish the round with that repeat. At the end of the round, I'm gonna slip stitch into the first single crochet of the round and switch color to color 1. For round number 5, I'm gonna be working with the 2 colors at the same time. So I'm gonna carry color number 2 along with me throughout the round. And I'm gonna start by chaining 2. These 2 stitches are not counted as a stitch, and into that first stitch, working under the color number 2, I'm going to do a double crochet stitch. Into the next stitch, I'm going to do an increase of double crochet, so 1 double crochet and back again into the same stitch and do another double crochet. But before finishing the last stitch, I'm going to switch to color number 2. Next, I should be at a front post double crochet 2 together from the previous round. Into that stitch, I'll insert my hook and do a puff stitch. So yarn over, insert the hook into the stitch, making sure you're working under color number 1. Pull a loop, yarn over, into the stitch, yarn over and pull a loop, yarn over, into the stitch and pull a loop. Now we have 7 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 7 loops, and then switch to color 1 and chain 1. Tighten color number 2 this way, and then we're going to repeat the double crochet stitches. So into the next stitch I'm going to do a half double crochet with color 1. The next stitch I'm going to do an increase, so double crochet and another double crochet. Before finishing that second double crochet, I'm going to switch to color 2. And into the following stitch, I'm going to do a puff. Yarn over, insert into the stitch, pull a loop, yarn over into the stitch and pull a loop, and yarn over and into the stitch and pull a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 7 loops, and then switch back to color 1 and chain 1. And repeat again. At the end of round number 5, I did the last puff stitch into the last stitch, and then chain 1 using color 1, and slip stitch into the first double crochet of the round using color 2. So we're doing a very quick color change and back to color 2. Now we are ready to start round number 6. So chain 1, and into that first stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet. We're doing an increase, and then in the next stitch we're going to do 1 single crochet, and into the following stitch another single crochet. Now around the puff stitch we're going to do a front post single crochet. So we're going to insert the hook around the post from the front to the back and out on the front side, pull a loop, and then yarn over and pull through the 2 loops. Now into the next stitch we're going to do 2 single crochet, and a single crochet for the next 2 stitches, and then a front post single crochet around the puff stitch. Two single crochet, and then 1 single crochet for the next 2 stitches, and a front post single crochet around the puff. And this is the repeat for this round. At the end of the round, I'm going to slip stitch into the first single crochet and switch to color 1. So in round number 7, we are shaping our circle into a square. So I'm going to chain 1, and then in round 7, we are working into the back loop only of the stitches. So if we look at the top of any stitch, we're going to see a letter V. The side near us is the front loop, and the side away from us is the back loop. So I'm going to insert my hook under the back loop only, this way. So for the first stitch, I'm doing a half double crochet into the back loop only. And for the next 12 stitches, I'm doing a single crochet into the back loop. After finishing the 12 single crochet, we're going to do a half double crochet into the back loop. And then into the next stitch, we're doing an increase. So 3 double crochet stitches, and they are all worked under both loops of the stitch. And this stitch should be the one right above the puff of round number 5. Next, we're gonna be working a half double in the back loop and then 12 single crochet into the back loop of the stitches. Now, if we have a look right now, we are doing a repeat of what we did from the beginning of the round. So we started the round with a half double crochet and then 12 single crochet stitches, and then we do a half double crochet and repeat the 3 double crochet. So let's finish the 12 single crochets, the 12 single crochet into the back loop, and then 1 half double in the back loop, and then we do a corner again of 3 double crochet working under both loops of the stitch, and that stitch should be right above the puff stitch of round 5. Repeat the other 2 sides doing the same sequence of stitches, and then we're gonna finish the round together. At the end of the round, I'm gonna slip stitch into the half double crochet, the first stitch of the round, using color 2. And we're gonna chain 1, and into that first stitch of the round, I will work a half double crochet into the back loop, then working 12 single crochet stitches into the back loops of the stitches, and then after finishing those 12 single crochet, I'm gonna do a half double crochet in the back loop for the next 2 stitches. Now we are at the middle of the 3 double crochet of the previous round, so I'm gonna work 3 double crochet working under the 2 loops of the stitch, and then for the next 2 stitches I'll work a half double crochet into the back loop, and then 12 single crochet into the back loop. Next, half double crochet into the back loop for the next 2 stitches, and then 3 double crochet stitches under both loops of the stitch, and then a half double crochet into the back loop for the next 2 stitches, then 12 single crochet, and we're gonna repeat this till we reach the end of the round. So we're doing here 2 half double crochet, and then we are at a corner, so we're gonna do 3 double crochet stitches, two half doubles, 1 in each stitch, and then 12 single crochet, and then 2 half doubles, and the last 3 double crochet into the last corner, and then in the last stitch we're gonna do a half double, and then slip stitch into the first stitch of the round. And this is the final look for our pattern. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, please share it with your friend and give it a thumbs up. And I'll see you next time. Till then, take care and keep crocheting.